Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Artists United Network.
Artists United Network. I'm about to The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs.
All right, welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. What an exciting weekend we've had here on the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. My buddy Shane Foster's here, co-hosting with me today. Shane Foster, After Hours.
Hey, everybody.
Nice shirt. AG was on last night. He had a colorful shirt as well. And my good old friend Reynard Fox is our guest today. You might remember Reynard. Probably one of my favorite podcasts, which is probably not. It's more of a cult favorite. But you came when we talked about UFOs, and I thought. I mean, I'm dumb when it comes to all that stuff. I'm dumb when it comes to a lot of things. But when it came, I was glad you were there because you're such an expert and some of that stuff. So,
well, thank you.
First thing, I guess we'll talk about is with what's going on with the UFO sightings, and I guess did they release that stuff? I mean, because there's so much stuff that goes in the news and shit gets like pushed back because they're talking about inflation, they're talking about gas prices, they're talking about this politician stuff, and so like the
alien news is oversaturated by all the other regular news.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. Right.
Well, the Pentagon back in 2020 had released a lot of declassified documents. I have yet to actually read them, but there's a lot of activity going on just in our orbit. And there are even wormholes and stuff over China, which some of those are allegedly are holograms, and some of them are the real deal. So, some people are speculating about. Have you ever heard of Project Bluebeam?
I heard that.
Yeah. Well, it's basically kind of like, the equivalent of a false flag of alien invasion kind of thing. And
so you think that's like the next thing, if we're going to go down the conspiracy thing, that this virus was step one and kind of see how people would react to it, and then this is like to unify.
Possibly.
Yeah.
The virus thing was a distraction, but also, it was a major psyop was really what it was. I mean, let's face it. What was it? I was actually watching David Wilcock the other night, and it was the first time I checked him out in a while. And he was talking about agricultural things going on, the chicken farm on fire.
I heard there's a lot of stuff like that going on that they're not even talking about in the news right now.
It's all being orchestrated, and they're all, I'm all over the place right now. I'm sorry.
No, but that's fine. We'll ring it in. Go.
Is this the wormhole that you're talking about? Does this look familiar?
Yes. Now, there's speculation that that's actually a bunch of drones creating that. Mm-hmm. Kind of like in SpiderMan Far From Home.
Right.
Yeah, a similar thing.
So, have you heard about what CERN has been doing lately? I guess they did something big on July 4th? 3rd? 5th? They turned it on to some ridiculous amount of strength, like stronger than they've ever done before. And I think it might have caused some things to go on. I'm not sure. I mean, you had the Georgia Guidestones being blown up. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. That, Boris Johnson resigning, Shinzo Abe being assassinated. Something's going on.
Why would with the Georgia Stones? What was that all about? What's the backstory on that? Because I just saw that today. I don't know anything about the history of that.
They were erected in 1980. Apparently, that town, was it Egerton? I think it's called in Georgia. They're like a cement hub or something like that, and those stones were erected in 1980 by an alias R.C. Christian, which alludes to Rosicrucian origin, stuff like that. Anyway, it's essentially an ode to the New World Order in multiple languages. They had it even in Swahili and Greek hieroglyphics. They were talking about depopulating the world to a population of that should not rise above 500 million.
Well, not necessarily depopulating, just not overpopulating.
Well, true.
So they're not like we should like kill a bunch of people to keep it at this number. They're just like, hey, as a general rule of thumb, try to keep it below this number.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a monument to the elite. But also, there's apparently a capsule buried 6 feet below it. So I don't know if that was why it was blown up, or there was also this politician, Candace Taylor, that was talking about getting rid of them because they're satanic. And
The Georgia Guidestones?
yeah,
How are they satanic?
I know. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily describe them as satanic, but we're talking about more puritanical people. I'm saying that.
Right.
So,
Yeah, from my understanding, it was just like a guide for how to rebuild the world in an apocalyptic event. Mm-hmm. It's funny because those stones were supposed to withstand an apocalyptic event, and somebody just blew it up nonchalantly. They're like, well, we want to get rid of this. Let's bring in the bulldozers.
Yeah.
And it immediately just...
They brought them down pretty quickly.
Right, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what we're looking at here. Oh, here we go. I'll fix that. It's just B-roll of particle accelerators stuff. I figured we could have that on while we're talking about it.
Sure.
But, yeah, you think we're going to be opening any portals here anytime soon?
I think they already have.
Yeah?
Yeah. Interdimensional entities apparently have been coming through. You can't really see them with the naked eye kind of thing.
Because the humans don't have that, like, that seventh sense or whatever to be able to see it? Or
Yeah, no, I mean, operating in third density, our light spectrum, we can only see so much.
What kind of eye do you need to see them?
I couldn't tell you that.
What kind of binoculars or whatever do I need to buy to see them?
I don't know. I don't know their technological ability as far as that goes.
Right.
I know people that have the spiritual, they have that third eye open. Would they be able to see it?
Maybe. Okay. People that are really that have synesthesia or are really capable of seeing auras could probably witness something. Wow. I occasionally see things out of the corner of my eyes, just
very nice.
Little blueberries floating around.
Right. Whose phone is that?
It's probably my phone I left over at the desk.
I'll delete it. I'll not delete it. I'll hang it up.
Yes. So going back to like the UFO sightings, I mean, I've watched some of those videos. It disturbs me because it's like nobody ever gets like a clear, good shot. I mean, of all the phones, camera phones we have now, and all the cameras, technologies, like you think that somebody would be able to get like a better, clearer shot.
Yeah,
of it. It always seems like it's kind of a tease.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with Ghost. I noticed that with a lot of Ghost videos. They're like, yeah, we had everything out of focus, and we only captured half of the frame in this, but you can see just a sliver.
Yeah. We had some ghost haunt seekers on, and nice guys, love them, but they were going like, oh, we're bringing a bunch of footage over. I'm like, oh, sweet. I can hook up to my laptop. We're going to be able to play it on the podcast. And they brought it over, and it was just like dark shit, and there was like one little like fucking cloud looking thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's right there. And I'm like, and so we tried to blow it up on the screen, and I was like, oh, right. And so we're trying to draw on the TV. So I was a little disappointed because it's not that I'm a non-believer. I just would like to see better proof to be able to.
I could probably show you some solid stuff.
Yeah. Well, our mutual friend Jen, she has like a legit picture of a ghost on her phone, and it's not like there's a dust speck right there. That's probably a spirit. No, it's like an actual like little girl that you can see in the picture.
Oh yeah.
While she was on a tour at like a haunted location. So.
Okay.
I can't say for sure that the picture wasn't edited or anything. Jen will swear up and down that it is, but I'm just going from what I saw.
Some of the craziest stuff I've seen was out of the YWCA in Alton.
Yeah, Alton's apparently like one of the most haunted places.
It's insane.
Yeah,
and you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it. Because it used to be what it used to, Civil War used to be a jail cell.
Yeah,
wall's still there. One of the walls, and then all kinds of stuff that used to happen there.
Allegedly, there's a rare kind of spirit that roams around there they just call them doppelgangers. They're not very common, but apparently they'll mimic somebody that you know.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and they're solid.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's freaky. That's freaky deaky. I'm not the biggest fan of freaky deaky stuff.
Before with Shemay, I went to Alton one time and I met a girl I thought was from high school. We had relations, and the next morning she was gone. So maybe it was a
doppelganger. Yeah.
It was a doppelganger.
Probably.
That's it. It's got to be.
So,
yeah, I'm always intrigued by like supernatural stuff, but it's also the most terrifying concept to me because like if I say it all the time, if you ever get in a fight with a ghost, you're just fucked because you can't like beat up a ghost. It's like supernatural. It's not in physical form.
Yeah, you really got to know how to manipulate energy in order to combat a strong spirit like that.
Right, and I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah,
Chakras.
I'd just try to be polite. Be like, could you please get out of my home?
Well,
surround yourself with light.
Right.
You went to the Haunt Seekers. It wasn't Haunt Seekers, but it was some kind of horror thing, right?
So I went to the Fear Expo in Kentucky.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was a lot of like special effects and masks and makeup and stuff, kind of like for people that put on like those haunted houses, those spectacle things, but not a lot of like actual supernatural stuff there, other than our booth from Ghost Seekers.
Yeah, well, I think that's my issue I have with people with ghosts and stuff. It's almost like Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love it. But some people, when they dress up and they make it like almost like a cult and they get so weird about it, it kind of ruins Star Wars for me.
I know.
Yeah, this one was kind of cool, though.
So that happens with like the people that do ghosts. So you get probably people smart like Reynard over here that can tell you like facts and stuff. But then you get the crazies that kind of like make it seem like conspiracy theorists, kind of talk,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, that's one heck of a party for sure. It's like Halloween, like always, for those people,
Yeah.
So that's like it's a fun time for sure.
Yeah. Well, I was raised in church, and what they preached was that ghosts were actually all demons. They weren't, any spirits that were passed on. But that's the thing. It's not one or the other. You've got a multitude of different entities and astral garbage. Some of them are really intelligent, and others have the intelligence of a cockroach.
Right.
Yeah. How smart are cockroaches?
Probably not very smart.
They're adaptive.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I actually was using a Ouija board with my my old friend Jonathan, and some years back, and we would discover, goofy ones that would just come through, just WAMAMA, and I was just like, okay, Wamamama, next.
Yeah. Well, you've been contacted by the Wamamamamama demon, so you look out for that guy.
I know, he sucks.
Yeah. Why do demons always have the weirdest names?
I know.
Like Zuzu, or they always have weird names. Why don't they ever run into like a Steve?
Or Jim.
Jim. Yeah. Oh, it's Jim again. Look out.
Oh God, it's Bill.
Ah, Bill.
No. A lot of those names actually have Babylonian origin.
Oh.
See?
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm learning.
That's why we get him on the
I'm learning stuff. I now know that cockroaches are not that smart. I also know that demon names are of Babylonian origin.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What would you have done without me?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I would have just kept assuming cockroaches were really smart.
But last time you were on, we did do the UFO, and I got like a lot of people talking to me after that podcast because we were like, well, these people were saying there's like people on the dark side of the moon and stuff like that. I was like, well, it's people's opinions or whatever. I mean, are you nervous whenever people start talking about that to kind of talk about UFOs and stuff? Do you ever get like backlash? Like,
I've never had anything mean, like, nasty, but people are just kind of like, you sure?
Right.
And I'm like, kinda.
Right.
Because I've seen the pictures. Those aren't fake.
Yeah.
There was a guy named, not the same John Leonard Watson, a different John Leonard Watson that had a very powerful telescope that I've seen footage of, and I can't find anymore. But you can see towers. And what look like radomes.
Towers on the moon?
Uh-huh.
Really?
High.
Like, so that somebody was building stuff on the moon?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like when they talk about the moon landing, like I Maybe we did land in the moon, but the thing to me is, like, I don't think that the footage was broadcasted that evening to the public. I think that shit was all fake because I just don't see them being able to have the technology to broadcast. Because this stream right now gets fucking interrupted because somebody So to get footage from the moon, like sharp footage from the moon like that, I just don't see them being able to do it. So I figured that was pre-recorded. Like if maybe they did land on the moon and that was just some fucking studio footage they put out. That's my thoughts on the whole thing.
I think the rumor is that one or two of them actually are fake. The others are real. Just look up Edgar Mitchell. He was from Apollo 15. He can tell you a lot of stuff and what he witnessed. There was a guy, I forget this astronaut's name, the last one that was real. He was a geologist. I think I mentioned this on the...
I think you did.
Yeah. He tried to design a patch that had like a Stonehenge thing on the moon, and it didn't get approved. But I've heard this recording when... They're like, to your right, there should be a set of boulders there. And then then he goes, yeah, sure are a lot of boulders around here. Whoop.
And it was
meaning like there's like pyramids and stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
And like Stonehenge-like things,
Well, when they did, I forget how many Apollos was there. It was 15 or 16 or 17 was the last Apollo mission, right? They actually went on the moon.
17, 18, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They didn't do it live. It wasn't broadcasted live back then. When I know like the first one was supposed to be broadcasted when he stepped on the moon, but like I don't know if the other ones were broadcasted live because I wasn't alive back then. I don't remember.
Well, 11 of course was.
Yeah.
But,
right.
I think 15 might have been.
Okay.
Yeah. Apollo 13 obviously was a different story.
So how would they, going into it, did they not aim the camera to a certain direction? That's one, how when they were broadcasting it, not to show that kind of stuff.
I don't have an answer for that. I wish I did.
Yeah. And my question is like, why would they not show it? Why do they keep it such a secret? That's kind of like my being skeptical talk here, but like, what are they afraid is going to happen? Like, also we see a pyramid on the moon, and we're not going to want to go to work the next day, or the economy is going to go to shit. Like,
well, mass panic, but the part of it is it would get people to wake up to a greater reality, which I know doesn't sound like it makes sense on the surface, but how do I explain this? Learning about these things and these people, entities, what have you, would not make people compliant to the government, the world government after a while, Because they would discover they're their own greatest power,
Right.
I know. I know that sounds weird and it sounds but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. If you think about it, like, this is so hard to explain.
I see what you're saying, because maybe if you thought, well, there's something more powerful than my government out there, why am I going to listen to them? Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're kind
pretty
of
much
kind of like?
That's
why should I pay taxes when there's an alien that could take over tomorrow?
Right.
No more paying taxes.
Right. But then on the other question, why do you think if there's anything on the moon, aliens, or why have they like? Made themselves more present or whatever, taken over, did any kind of, why?
We're under a quarantine from a lot of them.
From aliens?
Yeah. Well,
was that our idea or their idea?
Mostly theirs.
Okay. Gotcha.
Do you feel like it's almost like when you go in the ocean, you're looking at like a coral, and they're just kind of like, you don't want to interrupt it. You just kind of want to view and see how stuff plays out.
Yeah. Probably, yeah, kind of.
So they're just kind of they're more like scientists researching to society, seeing how.
Well, we're one of the last races of people that exists in third density, so we are being monitored. And in the past with Atlantis and things, we screwed things up, and also on Mars. Before.
We've been on Mars before?
Eons ago.
Oh,
yeah.
What happened with Atlantis? How'd we mess that up?
Just nuclear power and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, that's hence the fall of it. And they don't like us screwing with nuclear shit.
Yeah.
Like, because apparently it really affects them. greatly. That's why it's like they're always powering down missiles and power plants and things like that. Well, missile silos, excuse me.
Well, how do you feel about Elon Musk wanting to terraform Mars? Well, potentially terraforming.
Do you feel like he could be? I feel like he could be an alien, but that's just me.
He definitely could be an alien. He kind of looks like one already.
If his, I'm just not sure what his intentions are.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on his intentions. If his intentions are just to, get out there, then I'm all for it. But, if it's, for greater control of some kind, like there's something there that I don't know about or other people don't know about that he wants to harness and monopolize, then yeah, I would have questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I saw you made a tweet. I don't know where I saw it, but he said something about like the 1969 moon landing kind of like brought everybody together.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I think we could do the same thing if we go and colonize Mars. And that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I think first step is probably just get people on Mars. Then I don't know. Terraforming Mars, I don't even know if that's even possible. I don't even know if he knows that's possible. But
right.
It's probably something that they're considering.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's aware of different technologies that the mass public is not aware of.
Doesn't it seem weird that they're talking about Mars and yet we haven't been to the moon in 40 something?
We probably seen all there is to see.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't we put like a little thing on like a station on the moon first and practice over there because it's a little bit closer than Mars? Then you know what I'm saying? Like
the thing is we're already there.
Yeah.
There are jump rooms.
Jump rooms?
Jump rooms.
What is that?
Like a teleportation room.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you get in, doors close, feel it in your stomach, boom, and then you're there. They have grates in the floor there because you puke as soon as you get over there. It's instantaneous. So,
like where can we find that information if people want to read that?
A great resource is Andrew D. Basiago.
Okay. Because I'm going to hear about this, so
he's got
so I have to ask these questions.
Is he a YouTube guy or does he just have articles?
No, he's done interviews. He's on YouTube. He's been on Coast to Coast way back in the day. And of all things, he's a lawyer out of Washington. But when he was a child, they experimented on him as a child, time travel and teleportation.
When you say they, you mean like aliens?
No.
Like government people?
Yeah.
Oh.
But repurposed technology from crashed alien UFOs, stuff like that.
Whoa. Do you think they have the technology to do? You said something about time travel. Do you think that's possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but yes, apparently it is.
The second time travel exists, I feel like immediate chaos would ensue, right? Because if you think about it, like time is linear, right? At the very second that time travel exists, then it immediately opens up avenues like in both directions of this linear timeline. Right?
Things have a way of smoothing themselves out.
Really?
Yeah. There was a guy. You can also look up the Montauk Project. That will be pretty enlightening for you.
I have heard that.
Yeah. There was a guy apparently that used that technology to travel back to a point to kill his father because he just hated him so much. And then apparently some days later, he got hit by a van and killed.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I guess it has a way of evening itself out.
Huh.
It gets eerie.
So do you think that's like some sort of
Final Destination kind of deal?
Do you think it's like some sort of divine intervention or like it's just like the universe being like, well, you can't cheat that. That's one of our only rules. You can't go back and kill your father.
Quantum intelligence, yeah, possibly.
That's interesting.
I know. I'd love having Reynard on. This is great.
Imagine like a sci-fi movie.
I feel like I'm all over the place today.
I feel like it's all.
Imagine like a sci-fi
Usually
movie
I'm much more...
No.
Imagine a sci-fi movie where somebody like tries to go back in time to kill Hitler, but just something keeps preventing him from having it, and they
by a car.
They keep going back in time to do it. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. See, we're coming up with movie ideas right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a movie about time travel.
You did? Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's called Lamina. It's in post-production right now.
Yeah.
It's been in post-production hell since the pandemic, but it should be released in early 23.
So how about because you seem to know a little bit about time travel, probably more than I do, but what about when you go back in time and see yourself? I hear that's a big no-no. How does that work out?
Well, I mean, it's not recommended.
Right.
No, allegedly what happens in that scenario is that doesn't carry over to when you come back to wherever you came from. Apparently, that just goes in a completely different timeline. I'm not sure why or how that happens, but
it's probably the universe being like, well, we messed up this save file. Let's compartmentalize this.
Or it could be, if you think about it on kind of a quantum level, that once you affected yourself, like that's not going to carry over to your timeline, like because obviously your thoughts would be altered and your destiny could even change.
So it splits off on a separate one the second you see your own self.
Yeah.
Huh.
You probably won't even be like, if you saw yourself, you come back and like, hi, and then later on down the road, you probably wouldn't even be the same person.
Wow. Huh.
What would you do if you saw yourself, Shane?
I'd probably say hi. I don't think I'd do much. I'd be like, what's up, Shane? and I'd be like, well, it was nice meeting you. I'm peacing out.
I don't think I would like to look at him because I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror. So I'd be like, I wouldn't want to look at that guy.
I know.
You know how like you hear yourself.
I have trouble
recording?
watching this sometimes.
Right. I never watch this back.
You know how you like hear yourself on a recording and you just kind of cringe. Like imagine that, but like visual and audible. Like you just cringe twice as hard. Like, who is this person?
I bet you.
We would probably mutually cringe.
Right.
I would just say.
Yeah. But you'd probably, if I saw myself walking around mingling people, I'd be able to, better myself. It'd probably be the best, better yourself because you can see yourself like, okay, why do I act like that? Why am I making those mannerisms?
That's true.
Older, wiser Matt.
Yeah.
Coming to consult a younger,
right,
dumber Matt.
Because whenever
I'm so autistic that it would drive me bananas.
Right, because whenever like you have let's just say somebody has a relationship problem or problem in their life, it's real easy for somebody, an outsider, to be like, well, dude, why don't you just do this and fix it? But, but it's you having that problem, you just don't know how to fix that problem. So if you're able to see yourself with that problem, you'd be able to fix it.
100%.
I would be willing to sit down with myself and talk.
Right.
Just with the knowledge being like, hey, things could be different later. So
yeah.
I would, if I, sat down with my 20-year-old self, I'd be like, do not eat those carbs. That beer is bad for you.
Yeah.
I feel like my younger self would ask me, like my future self, for advice, and I would have a hard time thinking of something to say.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how that would go down, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
What would be, okay, so if a 60-year-old Shane came, you're 25 now?
I'm 25, yep.
25, let's just say 50 to make it.
Sure.
What would be the first question you would ask him? If somebody double your age came, like, would you be like,
I would be like, what kind of car are you driving in the future? I don't know.
That'd be one of my first questions.
Yeah, I'd probably ask that. Yeah.
I'd probably ask.
What you driving?
Right.
Like when did certain family members pass away? So that way you know how much time you have with certain people. Maybe that would be kind of a deep thing, right? No.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Well, in those cases, when you know exactly when they're gonna die, that's like a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'd be the first question, and
that'd be a good one. Yeah. Didn't think of that.
And then what?
Like how heavy would it be if I told my 21-year-old self, it's like, your mom's gonna die, like kind of suddenly, like
August 13th, 2029.
Right. So you better take those trips and spend some time or something.
Yeah. Mom's gonna leave. Because it was traumatic. So I wonder like how that would affect me.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Wow.
Probably suck. You'd probably like start like bugging them more, and they just wouldn't know why. But you'd be the only one that knows.
She'd be like, "Just leave me alone, Reynard. I want some
time
to myself. Put some time to myself here."
So we got teleporting down. We have
Excuse
pyramids on the moon, sky towers on the moon. We haven't done anything to Mars yet, right?
No, well, there's a presence there.
There's a presence.
Yeah.
A human presence?
You were staying with the
the jump rooms. I was sorry that I was referring also to Mars and not just the moon.
Oh,
like how far can the jump rooms go though? I mean,
I think we've gotten as far as Miranda, the Neptune moon. I think.
Is the reason why we haven't implemented that for like everyday people yet is because they just don't want everybody puking all over the place. It would just be too gross to clean up constantly.
Yeah, that's an ecological problem.
Yeah. Right.
So with this technology, would you think that, so obviously with the thing going on in Ukraine, they're scared of Russia because of the nuclear weapons, so they're always like tiptoeing around of, not want to get like in a war with Russia. Mm-hmm. Or you think the United States is afraid of Russia not just because of nuclear power, but maybe they have some of the same technology? Is this all shared technology, like a world?
They have stuff. Yeah. Actually, the Soviets were the first to kind of develop some of it.
Is all this stuff shared with no country boundaries when it comes to this kind of technology?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
There's probably some stuff that they would want to keep to themselves.
Yeah.
And like vice versa. Like if America was the first people to figure out teleportation, they probably wouldn't be like, "Hey, Russia, look what we just found out."
Yeah.
They'd probably just be like, "Okay, we'll like share a little bit of info, but like keep the big stuff to ourselves."
The Soviets mastered a lot of psychic stuff, psychic related stuff. So.
I think we talked about this on the last podcast you run, but something with the Germans back in World War II. Maybe you talked about this with Antarctica. There's something down there, right?
The Vril Society.
Yeah.
They discovered that. Yeah. There's a massive ship there. There's also allegedly a hole that they go into inner Earth. That I don't know too much about, unfortunately.
Wouldn't there just be magma there in the inner Earth?
Goes deeper than you think.
Hot magma.
There's something in Russia where they dug like the deepest. This is a documentary, but
the deepest hole ever.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. What's that called?
I forget what that's called.
Yeah,
but it's like the pit hole to hell or something.
Yeah,
right. But it goes super far. What they released to us or whatever.
Like something like 9 miles.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this recording was fake or not, but they said it's like they hear voices screaming from hell, when they dropped a mic down there. But I'm sure they picked up something, just probably whatever it actually sounds like. But I think this was fake because allegedly it was from an old Italian film of some kind.
Do you guys think that hole is deeper than the hole from the movie 300, where they kicked those guys down? Do you think which one do you think is deeper?
I've never seen that start to
the
finish.
one in 300 is a little wider, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, this is something about like 4 feet round. It's sealed now.
Yeah.
And there was actually a building they had above it where they were working on it, but now that's been demolished. I watched something on it recently.
Yeah.
A guy came and like checked it out, and it was like all rubble, but like here it is, and it just looks like
it was in
a bolted manhole.
Yeah, it was a bolted man, like in a warehouse. I don't know if I guess the warehouse is collapsed now, but that's what I saw.
No, it's been torn down.
Yeah.
It's just rubble.
Yeah, but you're right. It was some kind of manhole where they. Yeah, that's what I watched too. So,
do you think? So I guess a bunch of Germans after World War II went to Antarctica. Is that what was going on?
No, I don't think that's the case.
Well, what's going on in Antarctica then with the ship that you mentioned?
I don't know, but I guess that's kind of how they retrieved some of the technology that they did.
Oh,
Wait.
I don't know anything about this ship. Could you give me a little bit more like context?
I can't tell you what it's called. I just know it's massive.
But like, what's the significance behind it, and what does it have to do with Germany?
I don't know, but they found it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
the extent
all I
of
can
what we
tell
know.
you. Yeah.
Well, I heard.
I'm sure there's more, and I haven't dug. I should have dug more into that one, but
yeah, I heard that a bunch of Germans went to Argentina, like immediately after World War II. Like
they did
to escape the Nuremberg trials or whatever.
Yeah, they cut deals with the OSS.
Yeah.
We got. I don't want people to see my messages. I hate when people message me when I'm doing live podcast. That's why. Okay. So we do have a. Michael Bell says time is not linear. So that was 8 minutes ago, and then John Hart says I believe there's a ferment, and that ferment is what separates us and holds us in our position in space. We land on the moon, use everything as a weapon. So if we had access to aliens or anything like that, the government would use them to fight against our own planet.
The government would use aliens to fight against ourselves?
They would try, probably.
So,
not like the planet as a whole, but just like specific.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Well, they make tons of. I mean, they always make movies where somebody has some type of special power and the government's after them. So I would feel like that was kind of always true. What would happen? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you had some kind of magical power, I'm sure the government would like to.
Yeah.
You to work for them. You'd probably have a job for them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be. It would look really good on my resume. I'd like to teleport. I don't like the puking part of it, but I guess
Well, that's what happens.
I guess I'd take it.
When your entire atomic structure is rearranged.
Right. So. Well, we need to fix that. We need to figure out how to make me not puke when I teleport to Mars. But what else is going on in Mars that I don't know about?
There's, obviously lots of ancient relics and things.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's statues and, that face, that famous photo, the satellite image of the face.
On Mars?
Yeah.
Can you pull that up, Jamie? I got it.
Because I already know what I'm looking for. Famous face on Mars. You think it's going to pop up on
Yeah.
Google? All right, maybe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's so obviously a face, like that's not natural.
So here's skeptical me.
It's a huge relic of some kind. There it is. Yeah.
Oh, this looks like the moon. Probably because it's black and white. That would make sense. So, uh-oh.
How about the right there, best posters? Oh, no. Okay. Sorry. We didn't want to watch me.
Who's that? Who might that be? Why is there a face there?
I think that was me when I was really fucked up.
You fell into some wet concrete. That was what was left over.
So, well, maybe it's some of that transport that they didn't have the right, like.
Oh yeah.
So you transfer right into the rock.
Still tweaking the details out.
It's like Han Solo and ice.
Yeah, listen to Andrew Di Basiago. It's very informative because there's so much. Like I can't even begin to describe it.
Okay, so
well, what does Mila Kunis have to do with Mars?
Couldn't tell you.
We'll have to do some research into that.
Go ahead and just click on that picture for me. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I'll do it later. Okay. So why would they, if they were able to transport to Mars, why would they build a probe and land it and spend like $1 billion on a probe when they could just
for the facade?
The facade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
they could have just.
The thing is, though, most people that work at NASA aren't knowledgeable of some of this stuff. Most of them.
Okay, so here prompts another question. If we have the technology to transport people to Mars and we're building structures on the moon and doing all this crazy stuff, where do we find the resources for all this? Because there's only a finite amount of resources on our planet. We're probably using up most of them already.
Well, a lot of them are hidden.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess so. We do have billions of pounds of cheese in Missouri. You guys know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a lot of the gold, they say, it's like, the amount of gold on the planet you can only barely fill a football field with. And that's not true at all. It's abundant and it's hidden in places under the ocean and off world too.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Is there any habitable planets for people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere nearby, but yeah, there definitely is. They
way out and about.
Way out, in the Sirian constellation, Pleiadian constellation, but yeah, that's where a lot of ETs are from that visit us.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Most of them actually kind of, for the most part, look like us. Pleiadians apparently have their earlobes are slightly lower on their skull, different variants, but then others have kind of bluish skin. Some are what to our eyes look slightly transparent, and you can use UV lights and then you can see them plain as day.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because again, most of them operate on a slightly higher density than we do. So.
Higher than cockroaches?
Higher than cockroaches.
Okay, all right. Just checking.
I like that.
I think we talked about this on the last podcast. So they actually work among us, so we could be on a cruise, and some guy. It's kind of, it could be.
Yeah.
That's true. It's
they watch. They're involved. I haven't knowingly encountered one.
Can you imagine coming all the way here from another
people
planet?
That could be aliens. I know a couple people.
Who might those people be?
I won't say names.
Okay. Could you imagine coming all the way here
Could be
from
me,
another
and I'm just
planet?
fucking with you.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe that's why you know so much about him.
He came in here with his headphones on. So.
That's my people. Imagine coming all the way from another planet just to work on a cruise line.
I think some of those people are from a different planet that work on that cruise line.
That's their idea of vacation.
They're like, how'd I get stuck with this detail?
Right. Another question. Oh man. Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was waiting for you to go. I guess I'm curious about Mars though. I think given the opportunity, if it was developed enough, I think I would go to Mars for sure.
Yeah.
If there's a possibility of coming back, then
yeah, for sure.
100%. Like if I could go there and you'd be like, it's a round trip, but you have to wait at least 10 years until you come back. Mm-hmm. I think I would do it.
Yeah, I probably would too. Just random tidbit.
But with that technology, or I think there's something. I read something where like if you were off Earth or whatever out in space, that you would actually live longer because there's less gravity. You wouldn't age as fast, right, or something like that.
You wouldn't age as fast, but your bone density is affected. That's for sure.
Okay, so
you'd be more brittle when you came back.
Yeah.
So, but you were saying what?
Oh no, just another interesting fact about Mars. When Basiago went there, like, you know, on the surface, when you go outside, like, you know, they were just wearing ventilators. They weren't like wearing helmets or anything. And
really,
yeah, because there actually is a certain amount of oxygen. You could take it off, and your breathing's labored, but you're not going to like, you know, asphyxiate. You know,
It'd be like the same if you're like on Everest or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or like you're not used to high altitude and you just got there. It's kind of like that.
so the atmosphere is like okay for people?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like you're gonna die as soon as you walk out there or anything like
What
that.
are the temperatures like out there?
Cold.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Yeah. It's you know, it's windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
allegedly Barack Obama went there and when he was really young.
Oh man,
Part of the, you know.
But,
that's what Basiago claims.
what was Obama doing there? Why would they have
Because he
Obama?
was kind of.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
He
saying
wouldn't even
that's-
be addressing
That's
Americans.
not a fact.
My first instinct would say, my fellow Americans, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
I'm on Mars. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Well, this is something.
Well, Michelle. Michelle, did you jump? Did you jump yet? I'm waiting for you to jump. What do you mean you're on a rocket? That's going to take so long, Michelle.
Well, that just goes into another subject right there, to the secret societies and things.
Oh, God, I get so tired of talking about, like, those, there was a certain period of time where, like, everybody and their mother was talking about the Illuminati on YouTube. Or it seemed like it for me, because it intrigued me because I didn't know anything about it.
In the late 2000s, I was really into that.
Yeah, it just gets oversaturated with people being like, look at this music video and all these subliminal messages. That's the one thing, like, people pointing out subliminal messages.
Some of it's real, and you know, but a lot of it's bullshit.
Yeah, I think like probably 80% of the subliminal messages that people claim to find is just bullshit.
Yeah,
like they're going out of their way to try to find this stuff. So there's going to be confirmation bias related to that.
I'm just saying, are you aware of Bob Lazar? Yes. Look him up.
Yeah,
we talked about him briefly on the last.
We did. I think we showed the clips before. And
yeah,
there's a great documentary on. I think it's on Netflix or Prime Video that you should watch.
Yeah,
yeah. I saw his podcast with Joe Rogan. That's kind of where I.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that irritated me with that podcast with Joe Rogan, because he had the thing where he could bend light, some kind of video where it showed light being bent. And but yet, I can't find the tape. It's all in my house. I'm like, well, Bob, I'll come over.
Right.
I'll come over and help you find that tape.
Right.
I'll spend a month just here. I'm good at looking through VHS tapes, whatever tapes.
Right. Have Jamie number 2 take a road trip real quick.
Yeah. So that irritated me. That's the only thing that irritated me in that. I thought the whole thing was a great conversation with Joe Rogan, but that's the thing. I was like, well, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
How many tapes you got? Because I'll go over there.
I didn't watch that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah. So, we were talking about secret societies, Illuminati.
Yeah. So,
I'm a Freemason, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I'm a 3rd degree, and so you have to go through
initiation,
which you can look up on fucking Google. It's going to tell you everything. But anyways, they bring you in a room. They don't touch it or do any kind of weird.
Oh, you're not in the inner circle.
I guess I didn't get. Well, I maybe I wasn't cute.
As I understand, that comes much, much later.
Well, I guess I wasn't cute enough to be in the inner circle. I guess that's what it was. But they're like, yeah, but just, you know.
Do you need, what's next in this process? Don't worry about it.
Right. But I remember when I got initiated into that, somebody invited me. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to do it," because I want to just know what's like, you know, what kind of benefits do I get?
Right.
Well, all right, cool. Maybe I'll get some business leads and things. But nothing really happened. It was a good experience because a lot of old guys with great conversations. But my point is, I thought I would be able to get some kind of like insights on some kind of, you know.
I feel like everybody has this conception that like the Freemasons are going to be some crazy secret society that controls so much of our daily lives, and that there's probably just like a bingo hall, basically. It's probably just it's
Not
probably just
Columbus.
like an old men's club, basically, and people are like, "Oh, it's so mischievous, it's so crazy."
It's only like the really high up stuff that you know, apparently. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much they try to tell you that that's not the case, but
Well, it was the lodge in Bridgeton. It's not even around anymore. They closed it down. But basically, all the people were older men. They were probably like in their 60s, 70s. A lot of them passed away because this was like 15 years ago. But they all worked in the rail yard back then, and so I guess that was type of a club that they could go and get away from their wives after work and have some beer and stuff like that. So it's kind of like how it all. For them, they all joined it or whatever.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I heard there was like I don't know where I saw this, but I think there's like some cave somewhere, and it has a Freemason marking at the entrance, and it's like it's a super extensive cave system.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about it.
there's a lot of caves in Missouri that I actually been.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a
slunkering,
network, and they use it.
Right, to store cheese.
To store cheese,
Yeah.
that's right.
There's like 1.3 billion pounds of cheese in Springfield, Missouri. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
100%.
That's the best fact I learned. This
and that's not like a conspiracy thing. It's like,
What do you need me for?
we're talking about aliens and everything. Shane, tell me more about this cheese.
Yes, I want to know more about the cheese. Tell me more about the cheese, Shane.
Well, they got Parmesan. I'll just go down the list. Yeah, no, that's a definite like fact though. That's not like a conspiracy.
No,
thing.
that's real.
The cave I went to is way out down south 55. We went to this cave and we drove through all this farmland, and then I got to the middle of farmland. I thought I was going to get like fucking deliverance. I thought someone I was like, who are these guys that we're meeting? But then there's like this hole, and we went in this hole, and this cave system underneath this farm field was like miles and miles and miles.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'd just love to build like a house right here and have like a basement with like a stairwell that goes down and have all these
caves are cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I get why cavemen were so fond of them. They're fun, and it's always the same temperature. Like it's perfect.
Well, caves are great.
That's my take on caves.
Like Hawaii. Like, go to Hawaii or a cave. I mean,
I don't know. Caves are pretty cool, man. But there was that one horror movie that kind of ruined it for most people.
The Descent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that kind of ruined caves for me for a minute.
I only saw parts of that.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's like so these people go spelunking or something. I don't know. They're just exploring these cave systems, and it turns out there's like cave creatures that just like stay there 24/7, kind of like vampires.
Yeah.
I heard that's partially true though, right? There's like deep down there's some kind of
there's like gnomes and shit.
Yeah.
Like
No way.
elves apparently.
Do they have the funny hats on?
I wish.
Oh,
God, I hope so.
we got people watching, but nobody's comments. If you're watching, you got a comment. Hey, you got a comment? Go ahead and please comment below. I know we got a group of people watching right now. So, any question, we're going to answer our best answer. Anything about cheese, about aliens, whatever.
about caves.
Cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
So,
You know, we'll just bring this full circle, I guess, if you allow me to take the steering wheel on this.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, NASA like started feeding cockroaches dust from the moon,
Oh yeah.
like moon soil.
Yeah.
Just to see if it was like safe for terrestrial life. I don't know what happened to the
Why
cockroaches.
Why not rats?
I don't know.
The rats. Okay.
I don't know. I imagine it'd be hard to spoon feed a cockroach dirt, but I guess if anybody was gonna do it, it'd be NASA. But yeah, so basically, the funny thing is, like, NASA, I guess they're trying to put a stop to like people selling moon dirt at auctions and stuff because they want it back for research, including.
Okay, this is all new to me.
But including the cockroaches. They're like, we want the cockroaches too that we fed moon dust to. This is a real thing. We can pull up the article right now.
I believe you.
Yeah, I pull it up.
Oh man, let me see if I can
keep
find
those
it.
tabs up so in case people have comments.
Yeah. But yeah, NASA's like, we gotta stop selling this moon dust because we need to like do studies on it or something, including the cockroaches.
I was in Houston like 2 months ago, but next time I go, I'm definitely going to see the whole NASA thing and do the little walkthrough tour.
Yeah, I've wanted to see that. Kennedy, yeah. I've been to Kennedy Center. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here we go.
On my bucket list.
NASA wants its moon dust and cockroaches back now. So yeah, if you read into this article, basically, there's just moon dust out and about where people are like selling it at auctions, and there's also some experiments that they did where they fed cockroaches this moon dust. Oh, get out of here, please.
That's fine.
Anyways, yeah. So they're like, we need both of that back. We need the dust and the cockroaches back. At this point, they're like they're like carcasses, I guess. So I guess they're preserved somewhere.
That's one of my questions. Is the answer to it. So Pile 11 brought 47 pounds of loon.
Yeah, I knew it was a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some was fed to insects. Oh, fish and other small creatures. Oh, so we didn't just feed cockroaches.
Oh, I would eat some moon dust. I would be. Go ahead and test it. I'll test it out.
Yeah, I'd try it.
Give me some moon dust. I'll be on the fucking moon.
I mean, right. Imagine that's like some amazing cocaine. You snort that shit. You could
just like, oh my god.
Right.
I wonder what moon dust would taste like.
Man, they make some crack out of moon dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably could.
And you'd smoke that shit.
I mean, they were probably doing cocaine back in. NASA was doing cocaine back in the 60s and 70s. I'm sure there was one curious fellow that was like, let me just mix some of this in with my, Colombian booger sugar and go from there. See what happens.
Kept him awake in the control room.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, keep him awake, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, see if we have any comments. We got like 9 minutes left here, so we'll...
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, your computer is freezing there. I want to update your RAM or something.
Just slow. Okay. Well, what else you been up to? I mean, obviously, he's just not an expert on all this stuff, acting. So you said your movie's coming out next year?
Yeah, sometime next year. Uh-huh.
And who did you work on this with?
Wolfgang Lumkel wrote and directed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy.
I haven't heard of him. I knew him back in the day, but what's he been up to? I haven't heard from him in a long time.
He's mostly doing photography now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got great stuff.
Yeah.
He's done some great work on me. I've
seen some stuff on your Facebook, right?
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a sharp eye.
Yeah.
He's really funny too.
Man, he used to make. Oh, what's the films he made back in the day? That's back when you were doing Thanksgiving. He was doing stuff. I mean, that's how I.
Right? He didn't work on that.
I know he didn't work on it, but he was. I mean, of back then the industry of the St. Louis film thing, he was one of the key players.
He did a lot of stuff with Stephen Heffernan. God rest his soul.
Yes.
Lots of short work.
Yeah.
But pretty good stuff. Dirk. He does these short videos of Dan Probst just plays this guy Dirk, and it's some of the funniest shit.
I've seen that. Yeah, some of that stuff. Yeah.
He's killer.
So is it a short film that's coming out?
No, this is a feature length film.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you've been working on this post or pre-pandemic and.
I just acted it, and I didn't do any. I'm not on the production side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you just act. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the lead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the first lead role I ever had in a feature-length film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big step because being a a character like in a scene, you just kind of know of that character. But like for main character, there's a story arc that you got to go through and stuff, and so it's a whole different kind of
what made it. Yeah, it is. What made it hard for me was I had to like throw everything that I usually do out the window because I'm just a supremely fucking weird dude. And,
I don't think people are going to think this at all after this podcast.
So, no. No, but like, so I just had to like use my autistic idiosyncrasies and just seem like just the most unnatural dork, you know? And I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it because, I mean, it's...
When are we going to see like a trailer come out or anything? Is anything out?
I don't know. They're working on the color grading right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, when it comes out, obviously, you can promote it here and
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bring the whole group. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're talking about working on some kind of feature, but it's kind of hard as you get older to fucking do shit because
planning it out is probably the hardest part.
No, pay
right?
fucking bills and shit.
Yeah.
If I have to pay bills,
I haven't done any stage work in like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the budget or the planning that's the hard part?
I think the biggest thing is nobody plans shit. They're like, let's just shoot a movie. I got the camera. Let's go. There we go.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. That's exactly what so many people in this town are guilty of. And like, bro, think it out.
Yeah. Right.
Get you an itinerary before you start rolling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And since most people, as far as film goes, most people aren't union, so that's tough because other people have other real jobs. Well, not that that's not a real job, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not like a side gig or a hobby.
Yeah.
Well, I do a music video review show on Mondays, and there's a lot of great music videos, so I'm not going to start dogging people, but some people you can tell that they just picked up a camera and they're all partying one night and they just shot a video and then they just slapped some shit together and that was their video.
Right.
And,
Totally.
Which is, it's whatever, but, I guess it's good that they create something and put something out there, but on the other hand, you can tell some of the stuff's not really planned out.
Yeah,
So.
there's this guy I work with that's doing like some hip hop stuff, and he's actually making an effort. He bought quality camera and stuff like that. He's and I'm like, this is pretty good, man.
Well, I always say with the music videos or anything, I mean, if you can tell, it doesn't really matter the camera quality either. To me, if you can tell a good story with visuals that it could even if your music video isn't good, your music's not catchy to the audience, at least if the story's there, they'll still sit and watch it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some music videos that are pretty trippy and make no sense visually.
Yeah.
But they're still interesting. You're watching all the way through, though.
100%. Yeah.
Right. Well, there's some art films like that too that I like watching. That's like some I don't know like.
Well, you must see my posts. I post a lot of like surreal shit.
Yeah,
and,
I see your stuff all the time,
just weird, so I just appreciate that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like 2001 is like a masterpiece in my mind because it's so weird and out there, but it's so visually like it's like you watch that movie back and you kind of a different feeling the second time watching it.
That's one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
I would say that might be the greatest film ever made, in my opinion.
Speaking of Lemkel, that's like arguably his favorite film of all time.
Well, I'd have to interject and say that Forrest Gump is definitely the best movie ever made. Sorry, Stanley Kubrick.
It was compelling.
Robert Zemeckis has you beat in that front.
So they're out.
Fact book.
I was running.
Just there. I would pull up. I just try to.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, definitely visually stunning. I like Tenet. Tenet's good.
I love that movie. Oh my god.
The special effects is really awesome.
Yeah, that's a still from the film.
That's a still from the film here?
Yep.
Ooh, very nice.
That looks good, yeah.
That's really nice, actually.
Yeah.
It's set like back in time because you're using a payphone.
No.
Okay,
it's back in like 2014, 2015.
The more I look at it, the cooler it is. You know what it looks like? It looks like a promo picture for like Marvel's Daredevil.
It does. It looks like a superhero movie. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. We used a Black Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good camera, yeah. My friend John Harden has a Black Magic. Yeah.
Wait, so is that just like a screen grab?
Cole Hieronymus was a cinematographer. Yeah.
Was that like a screen grab or was that an actual picture?
That's you shared that today. It's funny. We were talking about this earlier.
Oh, yeah. This looks like a great place to put a Dollar General.
Right. That's funny. So,
We should, you know what we should do? We should redo the Georgia Guidestones, but with fewer instructions.
Okay.
Step 1.
Yes.
Figure it out. And just do that in like 12 different languages.
Just figure it out.
Right.
Well,
You done messed up.
So
It's your turn to figure it out.
They made this back in 1980. I bet you it took like tons of money just to move those 4 big ass rocks. And you think about pyramids and stuff, and that the pyramids, the rock what's made of is like miles and miles away, right? It's so yeah. So
Yeah.
How are our other stone monuments doing? How's Stonehenge? Is that still up and running?
Yeah, it's doing okay.
How about the what is that called?
well, the Civil War.
The heads. What are those things called?
One on Easter Island.
Yeah, Easter Island heads. How are those guys doing?
They're still there.
Okay.
now the Robert E. Lee ones, those are gone.
Oh man. Bummer.
Some Columbus statues too.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Reynard. We're gonna
Thank you.
We're gonna have Reynard on the podcast more often. Like I said to a lot of people, we're
Yeah, this was fun.
kind of going forward with the second season of Dustin Digs. You're gonna see more of the same faces always on the podcast. So, Reynard, always a pleasure to have Reynard Fox here.
Likewise.
Folks. Yes.
Thank you.
Shane Foster, let's do a little clappy.
Shame.
Yes,
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
So, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you later on.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Artists United Network.
I'm about to The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Diggs.